Good evening, this is Capital News from Monday, August 3rd, 2026. I'm Ivor Wharton and here are the stories we're tracking this evening. MV Barima crew member Forder remanded after a second court appearance, and government moves to salvage MV Barima after families push for vessel to be raised. We will return with the news.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change, correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone whom you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will open Monday to Friday from 8 to 18 hours, Saturday, Sunday and holidays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Now you can do more, loan secure, save for a rainy day, bills clear, cause every day is payday. Dream big plans, fresh cash in your hands, cause every Friday is super payday. Every day, every day, every day, every day is payday. Every Friday is super payday.
Welcome back to Capital News. MV Barima crew Forder remanded following a second court appearance. Here is that report. The three MV Barima crew members charged with murder in connection with the deaths of 72 persons were further remanded to prison when they made their second court appearance. The men, Kevin Price, 40, the vessel's captain, Rondell Roberts, 42, the chief mate, and Delon Grandison, 33, the goods superintendent, all appeared virtually in the Charity Magistrates Court. Following the appearance, attorney Eden Corbin of Dexter Todd and Associates law firm, one of 15 lawyers representing the men, said the defense team received partial disclosure from the prosecution, including statements and other pieces of evidence the police intend to use to support the murder charges. According to Corbin, the matter was adjourned to September 7th when the prosecution team is expected to provide full disclosure to the defense team.
Meaning that all of the evidence that the police is intending to rely on in these charges, we are supposed to receive them by the 7th of September. So far, we're pleased that the police kept their end of the deal and they brought the disclosure to court, and we're hoping that they will maintain the same momentum that they had in relation to the disclosure. At this point, it is a bit too early to make any comments on the disclosure as we only received it a few moments ago. So I think in probably at a further time, when we have had opportunity to properly peruse the file, we'll be able to provide a comment to the media and the members of the public.
The 87-year-old MV Barima sank on July 18th in the Atlantic Ocean off the Essequibo coast. The disaster claimed 73 lives while 76 people survived. Price, Roberts, and Grandison were among those rescued. The decision to charge the three crew members has sparked widespread criticism from members of the legal fraternity, civil society organizations, and politicians. Residents in their respective communities have also staged protests calling for their release, with many arguing that the men are being used as scapegoats for the tragedy. One of the latest protests occurred in Grove on the east bank of Demerara in front of the home of Rondell Roberts. Government moves to salvage MV Barima. The Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, has issued an invitation for expressions of interest, seeking qualified salvage contractors to raise the wreck of the MV Barima from the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. According to the notice, the vessel is lying in soft mud at a depth of roughly 13 to 15 meters off the coast of Essequibo, in an area where visibility is poor and strong currents and tidal streams may be encountered. The decision to move ahead with the salvage comes after family members of those who died said they want the vessel brought to the surface. Prime Minister Mark Phillips had said days earlier that government is weighing two options, leaving the vessel in place as a memorial or salvaging it, but stressed that salvage would only proceed with the support of the families. Government faced heavy criticism after reports suggested that the vessel might not be salvaged at all, with critics arguing that leaving the wreck on the ocean floor would deny families access to evidence and, in some cases, the remains of loved ones still unaccounted for. The number of persons who were aboard the vessel, which was en route to Port Kaituma in the Northwest District, is not known. However, 79 persons were rescued and 73 bodies have been recovered, with some 30 persons still unaccounted for. Marad says interested salvage companies must demonstrate a proven track record of vessel salvage operations in Guyanese or wider Caribbean waters, particularly in environments with strong currents and restricted visibility. Companies are required to submit a detailed technical approach for the salvage, with specific emphasis on protecting and documenting forensic evidence for use by the Commission of Inquiry. Expressions of interest may not exceed 10 pages and must be submitted electronically to MARAD no later than August 14th. We will return with more news.
Guyana Lottery Company brings to you Instacash Penalty Shoot. Step up and take your shot to win up to $2 million instantly. Get your Instacash Penalty Shoot ticket today from your nearest authorized agent. Every ticket gives you a chance to win big cash. Simply match your numbers to any winning number and claim the prize shown. It's quick, easy, and full of excitement. Instacash Penalty Shoot. Take your shot, score your cash, and win instantly. Goal! Remember, a ticket a day could make you rich today. Must be 18 years or older to play. Play responsibly.
Hey, man. Where are you? Okay. He said 5 minutes. Anyone want dessert? Maybe he's stuck at the office?
Surprise!
Not yet, Carl.
Bro, I'm literally at the altar right now.
Relax. I'm almost there.
We're like the friend who isn't always late.
You have the rings!
CG United. Good like that.
Thanks for staying with us on Capital News. IMF sees bright outlook for Guyana, advises caution on spending and transparency. The International Monetary Fund says Guyana remains one of the world's fastest growing economies, with real gross domestic product growing by more than 19% in 2025, driven by oil production and strong expansion in non-oil sectors, including construction, agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. The fund also noted that unemployment fell to 6.2%. But despite the strong performance, the IMF is urging the government to save a larger share of future oil revenues if oil prices remain high, warning that spending should be balanced with the country's long-term development needs. It also recommends that public spending continue to focus on productivity-enhancing projects, while broad subsidy programs are gradually phased out. The IMF is also calling for stronger governance and transparency, including the timely resolution of outstanding cost oil audits, improved oversight of public spending, stronger procurement practices, and enhanced anti-corruption measures. While the fund says there are no clear signs that Guyana's economy is overheating, it cautions that rising wages, inflationary pressures, and strong demand should be closely monitored, noting that tighter monetary policy may be needed if those pressures intensify. The IMF further says the country's banking sector remains stable and resilient, but recommends closer monitoring of the rapidly expanding housing market, including the development of a real estate price index to better identify financial risks. Hydromet warns of sharp increase in hot spell days as El Nino strengthens. The Guyana Hydrometeorological Service is advising the public to prepare for hotter than normal conditions as El Nino strengthens, with the country transitioning out of the rainy season into what's expected to be an unusually hot, dry stretch from August through to at least October. According to the Hydromet's latest outlook, Guyana typically records up to 30 hot spell days a year, but this year that number could climb to as high as 80. Regions 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 are expected to see the highest frequency of hot spells, with the entire country expected to see fewer wet days and above normal day and night temperatures. Hydromet says the warmer, dry conditions could affect multiple sectors, placing crops and livestock under moisture stress, reducing water availability in hinterland communities, straining the national power grid as cooling demand rises, and increasing the risk of bush and forest fires. Officials also flagged concerns of river transportation, where low water levels could disrupt the movement of people and goods, and for public health, warning of increased risk of dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke, particularly among children, the elderly, and outdoor workers. The public is advised to stay hydrated, conserve water, limit strenuous outdoor activity between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., wear light clothing, and avoid activities that could spark fires, including burning rubbish or vegetation. Hydromet says while El Nino typically brings warmer, dry conditions, isolated days of significant rainfall are still possible, and the agency will continue monitoring and increasing updates. More news after this break.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Tuesday, July 14, 2026 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. And in the region? Regionally, the Caribbean Media Corporation CMC reports that Barbados will establish 3 postgraduate scholarships focused on Black studies and reparatory justice as part of its continuing campaign for reparations for slavery, Prime Minister Mia Moore Motley announced in her Emancipation Day speech. Motley said the scholarships will be offered through the ministries responsible for Pan-African affairs in the Prime Minister's office in partnership with the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, and Mona campuses and the University of Glasgow. Under the initiative, at least 3 Barbadians will pursue master's degrees at the University of Glasgow in Black Studies and related disciplines with a strong emphasis on reparatory justice. These scholarships are freedom carried into knowledge. Across the same Atlantic that carried our ancestors in chains, their descendants will now travel by choice, rooted in identity and equipped to shape the work of justice, Motley said. The Prime Minister said that the program forms part of Barbados' commitment to advancing the reparations movement following recent progress at the regional and international levels. In her Emancipation Day address, Motley paid tribute to the enslaved Africans whose resistance laid the foundation for modern Barbados, singling out national hero Bussa as a symbol of the struggle for freedom. Bussa remains one of the clearest symbols of that courage. The uprising he led declared that our people had never contested enslavement and would never accept it as their destiny, she said. Motley argued that while emancipation ended slavery, it did not repair the economic and social damage inflicted on generations of enslaved people. Emancipation removed the legal chains but did not restore the land or wealth or opportunity taken from generations, she said. Reparatory justice is truth spoken, responsibility accepted, and repair made practical. An apology without repair is eloquence without justice. She noted that this year the United Nations General Assembly in CARICOM had advanced the global reparations agenda and pledged that Barbados would continue to play a leading role while preparing the next generation to carry the movement forward. And that has brought us to the end of this edition of Capital News. On behalf of the news team, I'm Ivor Wharton, thanking you for staying with us and do enjoy the rest of your evening.